Volcano the Blast Coaster is about to become Volcano the Wing Coaster, taking a shot at its biggest competition. The rivalry between Busch Gardens and King's Dominion is one of the greatest, and it's always enticing when one of them takes a hit, because then we know something good is on the way. It's difficult to say either took a bigger hit than King's Dominion in 2019, facing the sudden closure of their fan-favorite coaster, followed by what would have been the perfect Volcano replacement heading to their biggest competitor. I always suggested King's Dominion could counter this by adding an Intamin Hyper Coaster to 1, fill that hypercoaster gap, and 2, take the eyes off Pantheon. But the likeliness of that was always really low. Cedar Fair and Intamin most likely won't ever work together again, but that's okay, because King's Dominion has another trick up their sleeve, and well, it's gotta be good, or else it's gonna suffer the wrath of Roman gods. There's gotta be a reason Volcano's replacement is taking so long, and I think I know why. Now, I don't think a wing coaster will necessarily be a better ride than Pantheon, but I think it has an edge that Pantheon doesn't. We're not here to speculate whether this is or isn't King's Dominion's next coaster, but to explore the possibilities of why this wing coaster, and in general, why a Volcano replacement is taking so long to get built and how it's preparing to fight Pantheon. Let's put Volcano and Top Thrill Dragster into the same category. Both made by Intamin quickly became icons of their parks, but suffered downtime due to their launches. Extremely popular, yes, but a reoccurring nightmare for Cedar Fair. If given the choice, both would be on the chopping block for Cedar Fair, but you can't remove such popular rides, right? A few years ago, Cedar Fair went park to park evaluating which rides would be more profitable to remove. By cutting down on excessive maintenance costs, funds can be reinvested into new additions, pulling in more visitors. We saw this full swing when Thunder Road became Copperhead Strike, or when Firehawk became Orion. Some took a little bit longer, like Stinger, now becoming Iron Menace. Now, Volcano the Blast Coaster becomes Phoenix. Yeah, Zach, this is cool and all, but how does it relate to Pantheon? Later in 2019, we got our first wing coaster leak. These plans were described as a work in progress, like a proposal from B&M saying, hey, this is what we can give you considering your space and budget. It's clear with this version, King's Dominion wasn't interested in giving them space nor budget, like it was a quick fix for Volcano. But the issue is, they weren't expecting Pantheon. Their quick fix would never stand on its own, always living in the shadow of the investment Busch Gardens was doing. And with a lot of eyes on what King's Dominion will do after closing such a beloved ride, they can't afford to drop the ball. My theory goes, King's Dominion was early in planning that cheap wing coaster when Volcano closed. Then Pantheon was announced. King's Dominion and Cedar Fair put the wing coaster plans on hold, knowing they had something special with Volcano, something they could use as leverage against Pantheon. The way to compete would be to play on the heartstrings of visitors by having B&M go back to the drawing board with more space and budget to design a worthy replacement, which brings us into the wing coaster version 2. This version is a lot newer, and I can't say it's usual for a coaster to be leaked twice, and with time ticking, this may just be our long-awaited replacement. To compete with Pantheon, King's Dominion isn't looking for a Volcano replacement. They're looking for a successor, a sequel, if you will. Comparing version 1 to version 2, the change that sticks out to me the most is a launch rather than a lift hill, following in those footsteps. Now, quite frank, there's not much else we can say about the King's Dominion wing coaster. At this point in time, we just need to wait for some more information, but that won't stop us from theorizing. Volcano was closed with a cheap wing coaster in mind. Pantheon disrupted those plans. King's Dominion went back to the drawing board to build a bigger, better ride. But how do they build a better ride? If they could, why didn't they just build the cooler one from the beginning? Now, we can't go around saying this is Volcano's sequel just because it has a launch. We need to get into some theme theory. It's like coaster theory, but theme. I know, it sounds strange, but by puzzling together why they chose a wing coaster, how it fits into the surrounding area, and even what color it could be, can move us closer to cracking the mystery of why it's taken so long. After 2019, Cedar Fair and King's Dominion must have agreed to invest more into this project. More means better ride, yes, but also better theming. Copperhead Strike and Orion make a pretty good effort to entertain those waiting in line with nice structures, props, and even a nice storyline. I believe it's taken so long because that type of investment is what's coming to King's Dominion, and a wing coaster is the perfect experience to make that Volcano sequel. Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce Phoenix, King's Dominion's next coaster. Meant to hit that emotional chord, Phoenix rises from the ashes laid by Volcano. This is how they fight Pantheon, with a budget wing coaster. Now, Phoenix is just my name preference. I could see them going with something else in that same realm, or even making something up like Gwazi or Kumba. Or if they want to be like Tumbili, they can translate it to a different language. Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce Phoenix. Nah, I'm just kidding. What other than a phoenix would fit the usual bird-themed wing coasters so well? The gimmick of these wing coasters are near misses, where the train flies through a structure just big enough. This is a great way to do some affordable on-ride theming. A great placement for this would be twisting through some volcanic rock on that final roll into the brakes. Unless this theme theory is completely wrong and they theme it to outer space or Granny's moonshine or whatever, I think some hints have already been laid out by the addition of Jungle Expedition. Jungle Expedition is a reimagining of that corner where there was Volcano, Avalanche, and Crypt. Volcano, of course, is gone. Avalanche got painted orange and now goes by Reptilian, and Crypt got replaced by a free spin named Tumbili. The recreation of these leaked plans shows orange track, but I don't think that's gonna happen because Reptilian, the ride nearly touching this, just got that fresh coat. Tumbili is that jungle green. It's a stretch, but I think this coaster could have yellow track, cementing itself as Volcano's legacy. They could even build another Volcano. Some extra metal scaffolding and rock work wouldn't be excessively expensive, especially because this is how you take a swing at a ride who couldn't bother with even the simplest decor. So, Phoenix, the Blast Coaster. What do you think? Tell us your theories in the comments down below. I know, this video was a weird one. It was originally meant to be a general breakdown of those new wing coaster rumors, but knowing me, I started digging and found all sorts of conspiracy. If you enjoyed, buckle into that subscribe button. And if you want to see our theory on how Pipeline the Surf Coaster was originally Emperor the Wing Coaster, check out that video right here. Thanks for watching. I'm Zach, your go-to for all sorts of theme park media, and I will catch you in the next one.